Sanibonani Bafundi, and we're back again learning about IsiZulu history, IsiZulu culture, and of course learning to speak IsiZulu, because this is the number one way to learn IsiZulu culture, is by speaking to IsiZulu people. So we were looking last time just very quickly at the kind of political structure of Bantu culture, which really centers around the clan. The smallest political unit is the family, and above that you have the clan. Higher than that, there are certain, let's say, movements or uh, times when society became more complex. You can think about the Mapungubwe kingdom, which then sort of collected more people into one political unit. But these kind of came and went with the centuries and always sort of reverted back to the clan structure. Um, Now, one of the reasons why it's difficult to really track the migration of people is because the material culture is not so permanent, especially if you look at the houses. They're living in these sort of beehive grass huts with these awesome doors. And these, don't really leave a very permanent mark on the landscape. You do find, because, the inside, the floor is polished, and the hearth itself would kind of bake the dung and the clay. So you can excavate that and sort of see a hut floor, but on the landscape you don't. It's difficult to find these kind of things, and they don't stay in one place for very long, maybe one or two generations. uh, Although we do find, and I brought this image up, you do find stone wall structures, and this is actually a bit of a complex or an interesting question about Bantu culture, because we know from the documentation that, and from just observing the cultures that we have today, that we're going to organize the kraal around a central cattle kraal, and we're going to have the huts all around the edges. But a lot of these stone wall structures have these lobes on the inside. So, it's not 100% well known, and I'd love to get more into that. But, I'm just blitzing through a lot of this history so that we can get to speak IsiZulu. And something that I completely forgot last time was to add another important personal pronoun, which is ni. So we have ngi, I, u is you, u with inflection, he or she, ba is they, si is we, and ni is you all. Or in proper English, this would be ye. So you'll find in IsiZulu, there's this kind of distinction between the singular and the plural goes throughout the whole language. So you'll always be conscious of, if you're speaking to one person or to two people, or the language or the words will have to change accordingly. And let's look at that in the greeting. So here, if I'm saying Sawubona, Ninjani, Ngiyaphila, Sakahle, this is to one person. Like, hello, my one friend, what's up? Everything's great. Okay, have a nice life, bye. But now I'm speaking to, two or more people. I will now say sa, which remember is like have, I have. Ni is now you all. You all, sanibona. I have seen all of you. Just as a quick aside, sanibona ni, which is quite a common greeting, this is more like addressing a crowd. Let's say more than 5 people. Generally, if it's 2 to 5 people, you're just going to say sanibona. And they might say to you again, yebo, sawubona. Or you can also use this if you're addressing one person, but let's say it's like an older person. You can use the ni as a sign of respect to address them in the plural, because you're not really just asking you, like, you lady, how are you doing? You're asking in general, like, how is your whole family? How are your ancestors? How is the whole clan doing? Like, because no man is an island would be the English equivalent, but you're always concerned not about them as an individual, but them as part of a whole group. So we have sanibona. They can say yebo sawbona or sanibona. Let's say all of them. Yebo sanibona. Sanibona. Now, instead of unjani, how are you? You can then just say ninjani. Ninjani. How are you all? Ninjani. And now let's say it's you and your friend that are talking, or they are replying, and it's them and their friend. Instead of saying gi yapila, I am fine, you will say si, we are fine. Si yapila. And they can ask wena, and you can say nati and us. Nati siapila. We are fine. And then again, sala ni. All of you go well. Kahle. Hamba ni. All of you. What did I say here? All of you stay well. All of you go well. Kahle. So this is generally how you would go for a group of people if you're now wanting to chat to a whole bunch of people, or if you want to just show respect to people. So often I'll do this even if we are the same age. I will just put the ni in there to maybe I can say like soften someone up to just make the conversation go a little bit smoothly. I'll usually put that ni in there. And let's go through this and just see kind of some variations that you can very commonly get, or maybe I can say that I've commonly gotten and that I often bring up or use. So we've got sanibona, yebo, sawbona. Some people will kind of skip this and just go straight to saphila. So you'll say like, hi, how are you? Or you'll say, hello, sawbona, I see you. And they'll just say, I'm fine. Especially if you know someone well, they'll kind of skip all of this and just go straight to sapila. The other thing they can say is corner, which different translations, it can either mean good, like I'm sure you know the word I corner, which is not good. So corner is good, so you can say gi corner, I'm good. It can also mean here, I'm present. So you can also say like, yes, I'm here I am, in a way. So you're saying like, hello person, and saying, yes, I'm here, in that sort of way. So you'll also hear that a lot. Corner or gi corner, si corner, anything like that. Unjani, they can say that. They can also ask impilo, impilo. This is life. So impilo wako, like how's your life? So they can say it with the question, just putting the tone up. Impilo wako, what, like how's your life? Or like impilo wako, hamba ganjani, how's it going? So they can also say maybe like ihamba ganjani, mga ganjani. So like it goes how, with howness in a way. How's your life going? You can also say that quite often. And replying. So if you ask someone like unjani, they can often say gikona. And they can often say like, let's say, instead of saying siapila or giapila, they can say gi pi lile. So this one, it's an interesting way that Zulu works, is that we've taken that A and we've replaced with ILE. And they call it the stative. So it's easier to look at a word like fika, to look at that. Fika is to arrive. So gia fika, I am arriving. Gi fekile, I have arrived. Here it doesn't translate so easily. Giapila, I am fine. Gipelile, I have been fine, or I'm in the state of fineness. Difficult to translate that one, but you will hear it a lot. Gipelile or sipelile. And you will notice with Sizulus, or with Umzulus, sipilile, instead of saying this whole thing, they'll just cancel that I and they'll say spelile, like that. So you'll notice that a lot. They love to just drop entire words, usually vowels. They love dropping vowels and scrunching things, making everything one word. And I'm sure have seen this now that like Gikona or Salbona, this is three different words all squashed into one. This is called agglutination. And they love to agglutinate even where no agglutination should be occurring. They will agglutinate. They will keep squashing. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see. Something that is obviously very easy to talk about is the weather. So banda is to be cold, and shisa, I think that's how you spell it. I have to look that up on Google. Shisa is to be hot. So you can say I, like it, is cold. It is hot. Or you can say ku. It is hot. Ku. It is cold. It is cold. It is hot. And what you'll notice maybe if you are in Pretoria, because we say kwabanda and kwashisa, which is actually a Tswanarization, if there is such a term. Because in Tswana you would say hwatonya and hwafisa. So this kuya has become kwabanda for Pretoria because we are so mixed. So yeah, then you'll say, okay, spelile, we're fine. Slanigatli Hamagatu will stay the same. It's not too much variation on that. And also one thing I can say is that here in the greeting, you will put the person's name if you know them, or if you don't, you can just use their title. So you can say, Sabona Mama, Sabona Booty, Sisi, Sabona George. And then, if you don't know the person, but you want to respect them, you can just say like Sabona Ma or Sabona Baba, like this. And we'll get to the plurals of that. But for now, you can just throw in the title there, and people will know what you're saying, and they'll know that you're trying to be polite. So that's then a little bit more on the greeting, just some variations that you can expect out there, and how to go from single to plural. You're just going to put that ni, and there you've got it. Single to plural. And also important to think that in order to show respect, like in English, we'll say good afternoon, sir, or ma'am, or something like that. Whereas in IsiZulu, you'll address the person in the plural. And this is their way of showing respect. So thank you so much. I'm excited to continue and learn more and more about IsiZulu. Ciao, hey, bye.